Hello, my name is Matthew, and I've been reading a lot of really good stuff lately. It's been a great fall reading so far, and I have the day off, and I just finished reading The Grapes of Wrath, and I was thinking about all the books that I've read recently that I haven't talked about on this little channel. So I thought I would just show some of the books that I've been looking at, some of the books that I've read, um, and then if I'm in the mood, I'll make separate videos for books that I think I have maybe a little bit more to talk about. A book that I was really excited about, a new release, is the Iliad, newly translated by Emily Wilson. She translated the Odyssey years ago, and I thought it was fantastic. I haven't, I dipped into it, read a little bit, but I haven't started it, and I haven't read this translation yet. I've read the Iliad several times, but I'm very excited to read her new translation. Uh, the opening line I thought was fantastic. I'll just read, let's see, let's read the opening line. It's a famous opening line, but this is her rendition. Goddess, sing of the cataclysmic wrath. Cataclysmic, I think that is fantastic. A great big nonfiction book that I've been plugging away at. I'm not trying to race through this thing, but it's The House of Government by Yuri Slezkine, a saga of the Russian Revolution. Real big brick of a book. Really interesting. It has inset pictures nearly on every page, and it's this portrait of Soviet Russia. And it goes into great detail about specific everyday life and architecture, and really, really good. I don't know when I'll finish this, or if I could make a video talking about giving this book justice. It's really fascinating. Let's see. At some point, I was between books and undecided on what I wanted to read next. Whenever I'm in that, whenever I have that feeling, I often will go to short stories. And one of my favorite short story writers or short story collections is A Sportsman's Notebook, or Hunter's Notebook by Turgenev. I have this copy. And I spent a couple days just reading and enjoying these stories of this, effectively the writer, but the our protagonist, who is, each short story is just one of his walks, and he encounters people in the Russian countryside, these little uh, remote, hidden villages full of life and full of these lives, where some of the most important things are happening to these people, but no one even knows that they're there, and he has these encounters. And I was enjoying Turgenev so much, and I was looking for the next book that I should read. And so I picked up The House of the Gentry by Turgenev, and the opening material just made mention that The Home of the Gentry was Turgenev's second novel. And I thought, well, I'll just go back and read his first novel, which is Ruden. Where's Ruden? Lovely, lovely cover. It's a penguin. There's a lot of great things about Turgenev, but I love how, I don't want to say breezy, but efficient or concise his novels are. They're all 200 pages. I think Virgin Soil might be his longest book, maybe 400, 300 pages, but The House of the Gentry, Fathers and Sons, Smoke, this book, Ruden. He has a whole handful of great novels. You can read them in a couple days, or a really good weekend, or if you can, a really good afternoon. And it's similar to the short stories that you find in Hunter's Notebook. It's a little town, not the big city, out in the country, and this character, Ruden, shows up and turns the whole house upside down. If I can, I'm going to talk more about Ruden, but it's fantastic. I love it. Let's see. I had a good run of Shakespeare. I grabbed the wrong one. I read Julius Caesar, which has this great, in the middle of the play, there's this great speech. It's after Caesar has been killed, spoilers, and I think it's Mark Antony, the conspirators had come to him and said, you know, this was done for the good of Rome, and there's a crowd of people, and I think it's Mark Antony. I'm not going to make videos about Shakespeare because I can't even remember the characters' names or the plots. But he gets up and effectively gives a speech that's going to satisfy the conspirators, but also rabble-rouses the crowd. Amazing. Othello, I have this, I got Mr. T on the cover. I reread Othello. That awful Honest Iago. And one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, or maybe one of the strangest, is the Tempest, and it involves a wizard and a magical storm and a mystical sprite and Caliban, and there's all these strange things happening. It's funny and tragic and fascinating, beautiful, and just such an unlikely play. Weird picture. Let's see. Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. It has that great, iconic cover. There's Ignatius Riley. I enjoyed it a lot more. This is the second time that I've read this. I found a lot more out of it than just zany, outlandish characters and situations. It has this, I suppose, the infamous story of the germination of this book, or the story of this book. The author took his own life, and the mother had this manuscript which had been since unpublished, and went to Walker Percy, this other writer, and got in front of him and put the manuscript in his hand. Said, "My son wrote this. Read it, please." Put Walker Percy in just like this incredibly uncomfortable situation, and to his surprise, he thought it was great and worth publishing, and so there we are. I'm going to try to talk about this book. Let's see. I read a little story called With the Flow, and it's an early story by Doris Carl Hausman. And I was actually on the phone with my friend Kevin maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember, and he had mentioned different books that he had read on my recommendation, and one of them was Against Nature, and we were kind of talking and laughing about this book. This wealthy decadent, effete libertine trying to decorate his house and have the strangest and most esoteric and uh, the highest quality decorations around him. He's decorating his house and wants everything to be just so. And part of the book is effectively he has infinite money. And we were talking and laughing about the book, the poor tortoise with the bedazzled shell and things like that. And I had mentioned that Hausman had a book that was kind of similar in a lot of ways, which is with the flow. So there's against nature and then with the flow. And this book is very similar to Against Nature. It's essentially a one-character story about someone wanting to have all the nice things around him. The difference is this character is destitute. He's completely impoverished. And so he doesn't have the means to have all the nice things. He's going to restaurants and constantly being disappointed. And it's only about half this length. Something you can read in an afternoon. Let's see. And I think the last thing I'll talk about is The Grapes of Wrath by Steinbeck. And I just finished this maybe an hour ago. This was my second time reading this book as well. And I was much more impressed. I had read it in my early 20s. And I remember getting frustrated with what at the time felt like these long-winded descriptions of nature or the self-indulgent descriptions of the automobile or the road or the gas station. I found it significantly more powerful. I think it's just because I'm older now. Maybe I've learned something since I last read it. So those are the things that I've been reading recently. There's been other things, I guess, but this is what I pulled down to show you. And now I'm going to try to make a couple videos talking about some of these things. And we'll see how that goes. So let me know what you think about any of these books. Let me know if you want me to talk about any of them in particular, if I don't make it a video about something. And thank you for watching. Please leave a message or a comment if you would like. Thank you and take care. Bye.